Hello and welcome to the Temple of Tomes with your host, Indie Comics Jones. Today is August 2nd, 2021. This is episode 385. Today we're looking at Shang-Chi. This is number 3 in this arc coming up from Marvel. Legacy number looks like 129. It's very small there. Okay, we've got it at a whopping $3.99, and what we see here is apparently Shang-Chi squaring off against Wolverine. Now, we don't get the exact scene in there, but he does actually square off for a little bit in this book, in this issue. Now, if you've been following along, it's actually Shang-Chi versus the Marvel Universe. So the first issue we had Spider-Man, a little bout going back and forth. Second issue, he was actually working with Captain America, but by the time they broke apart, Captain America suspected that Shang-Chi had turned bad, which he hadn't, but that's the suspect was. And in this one, he comes up against Wolverine. So, and issue 4, it's going to be Fantastic Four when we get to that one. So this is a recommend. I am enjoying it. It's a little light. It's a little fun. It expands more on the Shang-Chi universe. We bring in a new character. We'll get right into that. Let's go ahead and for a word from our sponsor, The Trial of Magneto. This is Leah Williams writing that. The Scarlet Witch is dead. Ding dong. And now the trial begins. This comes out next month. Okay, so there's your preview. Sponsored by Marvel for this comic, not me. All right. We start off, we're at this lake in Ireland, and they apparently this tourist is just throwing a protein bar into the lake because he says it's stale. But that's enough to get the monster underneath riled up, because this old codger here has told the guy, you never throw, I told you don't throw anything into the lake, the sweetness. And we get something that resembles the Loch Ness Monster. It's not, though, because it's a totally different lake in a totally different country. And it looks bad for the people in the boat, but then suddenly this mysterious woman starts playing on this bamboo flute. And the beast is tied up in these, it's almost like a Green Lantern type binding. So there you go. This guy's taking a video of it, and he's able to send it out before the old codger takes the phone and cracks it open. And now we go right to the credits here. So let's take a quick look. We get the nice little blurb about who Shang-Chi is, and then we get the roundup for this particular arc. And we see the title is Shang-Chi versus the Marvel Universe, Part 3. The writer on this is Jean Luen Yang is the writer. I'm just going to say Dyke Ruan is the artist. Triona Farrell is the colorist. VC's Travis Lanham did the lettering. And then we have cover artist is Linnell Francis Yu and Sunny Go. So take a quick look at that cover again. The reflection of Wolverine in there. Cover. There you go. A little bit of Logan action. Yeah, this is a recommend. This team has been working on, done a pretty good job. I don't like this arc as much as the last Brothers and Sisters arc, but it is fun. I'll give it that much. The other one was more of an origin story of the way the Five Weapons Society has reformed itself. It was an assassin group looking to do a world domination for their father, the famous Zeng Zhu. So there was 5 of them. They've been whittled down to 3. It's just Shang-Chi, his brother Takashi, and Esme, his sister, which is like she's remained 10 years old, so she looks really young. Esme's like a daggers expert, and Takashi, sorry about that, is a saber expert. So they've got a few holes to fill up in their society to get at full strength again. They have regrouped in Chinatown in New York, as their original headquarters in China has been destroyed or has disappeared. They're not quite sure. And we have a guy named Master Ling, who is now kind of the head of the household for the headquarters. so Shang-Chi can concentrate on other things. They've gotten a report of this mysterious, they call her a Witch of the Lake, and they believe they know who it is. In fact, the brother Takeshi has said that I fought her and I let her live. I shouldn't have. I was under orders from father to kill her. But it turns out that she is a half sister to all of them, and Shang-Chi wants to make peace with her and talk to her and find out what's going on. And he's told Brother Saber to back off. So we'll see what goes. And then we have a break from our sponsor, Marvel Comics, actually sponsoring this comic book, not me. Dark Hawk #1, Kyle Huggins, 30 years. Who is the new Dark Hawk? Witness the rebirth of Marvel's newest hero, August 2021. So I don't know if it's a new hero, if it's a rebirth. Not quite sure what's going on with that. So they take this fancy jet that these guys have, and I'm assuming there's 5 seats. Now, when Brother Saber fought Zhilan before, he had cut off a piece of the flute, so he has that with her. Master Ling was able to put a spell on it, and is kind of using it like a compass. It's given the direction of where she is exactly. So they fly back to the lake where the monster appeared, and there's actually a protest going on, and these people almost look all Asian, even though this is in Ireland, so I'm not quite sure if that's just a coincidence or what, but we've got that going on in this picture here. They're protesting the witch. They don't want a witch in the area. And our five weapon society have found the place where she's close to, and suddenly the piece of the flute that Brother Saber's holding zips out of his hands and reconnects to the flute. It's like a flute staff, actually. And so it's kind of a we meet again type thing. And then a quick thing on Peach Momoko. Everybody's crazy about. You know what? I'm kind of like not crazy. Some of the stuff looks okay to me, and other stuff is more of a just deconstruction. And we'll talk about that when I do Marvel previews as well. I know she's immensely popular, but I just can't get into her stuff. Moving on, we get a second ad for Extreme Carnage Lasher #1, written by Clay McLeod Chapman, and Extreme Riot #1, written by the wonderful Alyssa Wong. So a new symbiote is spawned, and then Carnage is a deadly threat. Carnage with a plan is a massacre. August 2021. So this is next month. So our flute lady, Zhilan, decides that these guys are enemies, and she wraps them up, and they are able to escape the binds, and they're coming at Zhilan. You can see Brother Saber a little upset there. That's when Wolverine steps in and starts fighting back a little bit. And he also announces that Zhilan is actually a mutant, and he invites her to stay at Krakoa with him, which is a surprise to everybody there. Now, since there's a little bit of a jousting going back and forth between the three of them and Wolverine. And at the meantime, we get another ad for Runaways #38. It's Legacy #100. So if you're into collecting the 100 issues, you might want to get this. We've got Rainbow Roel as the writer on that. Take that as you want. I have no idea who that person is. August 2021 on this. So they start to calm down a little bit. Zhilan's now got an invitation for Krakoa. In the meantime, Shang-Chi is also inviting her to join the Five Weapon Society as part of the family. She's a family member. He wants her with them. And the fighting continues, and Shang-Chi is able to save Wolverine at the last minute. He says he would survive the fall, but it would hurt, so he thanks Shang-Chi for saving him. At this point, Zhilan decides, I'll stay with the Five Weapons guys. They are my family. And Wolverine kind of just tells her, well, if you ever decide to come to Krakoa, you're more than welcome there since you are a mutant, apparently. Okay, then we have another break from our sponsor, or the sponsor of this book, Winter Guard #1, Ryan Cady, Jan Bazardua, Bazardur, I guess. I'm sorry. August 2021 on this one. Okay, and as you can see, she's still playing the flute. This is the last argument, I believe. Then Wolverine just says, okay, if you wish to go with him, I'll protect you from the crowd that has found us and has come up the hill to lynch Zhilan. So they whisk her off in the jet, and she's back. Introductions are in order to Master Ling. Everything seems pretty good for now. And then we get the Fantastic Four #35, which is 60 years. And we got Dan Slott and John Romita Jr. and Mike Wade and Paul Renard and Jason Liu. It's a Fantastic Four versus Kang in the ultimate battle of survival across space and time, or time and space. August 2021, covered by Mark Brooks. So there's a little bit of my dyslexia cut in there. Okay, so later she's asleep at night, but her window suddenly opens and she goes to see what's going on. And we have a mysterious, she plays her flute real quick to stop the guy. And we have a mysterious stranger that wants to make her an offer for some reason. And this is where we get the announcement that the Fantastic Four is in the next issue. So we don't know if she's going to take up the offer or stay with the 5 weapons or kind of do a trick this guy. We have no idea at this time. Next month we have Voices Identity. It's an Asian special thing, so if you're into collecting #1, you got your work cut out for you. In 2 months, Shang-Chi #4. It's Shang-Chi versus the Fantastic Four. Someone has been sending Shang-Chi strange messages in his dreams, and they seem to be coming from the negative zone. But who is sending him these messages? And what do they mean? And why are the Fantastic Four standing in his way? So there you go on that. Then another word from our sponsors here. Warhammer 40,000 Sisters of Battle #1. Turan Gronbeck is the writer on this. Survive the grim darkness of the future with Candice Verdridin and the Sisters of the Battle. August 2021. So there you go. And Black Widow at a theater near you. To not recommend. It's not that good. The Russian accents alone will drive you insane. They're so bad. Okay, so there you have it. For a Marvel comic, I'm only reading the Marvel comics that I like, unless I pick up one by accident that's I think's going to be good, and it's not. So we're going to go ahead and give this the Indie Comics Jones Good Excavating seal of approval. Like I said, it's not as much fun as the last arc, Brothers and Sisters, but it is a decent, fun story. And they're putting together the team. They're getting more cohesive, so I'm enjoying it. Thanks for stopping by and watching this review. Please like, please subscribe if you haven't. Please leave comments if you like. And we'll see you next time. Got a couple more comics to go, trying to finish up before Wednesday, which is tomorrow already, for New Comic Book Day. This has been quite the week, so I appreciate you hanging in there and stopping by. And also, Marvel, give us some decent paper. You got your interior paper is the same as the cover paper here. Not very smart. It's one level up from a Kleenex. Stop. Give us good paper. All right, we'll see you next time. This is Indie Comics Jones, beefing about the paper, but bidding you adieu.